Okay, this is 10 minutes, but since I'm the first speaker, Punita has agreed for 11 minutes. No, I'm just kidding, Punita.
The timer goes off on Partha.
Yes, yeah. I know. So before I start, good evening, everyone. Before I start, I think it'll be worthwhile for me to start with a set of disclaimers, So my first disclaimer is that I'm an advertising professional, not a growth hacker or a digital ninja or a storyteller in a connected world. I'm none of those. So beware. Number two, I can only share my observations. I observe things, I can share my observations. In my life, I haven't cracked any code. I know coding, but in my life, I haven't cracked any code. And the third and the most important is, I still call it mobile. I haven't come around calling it mobile. So listen to me at your own risk. Campaign number one. Now, I'm told that I have to pick up something from outside, something from inside, but this is something I really don't know because we have done a little bit of work on this. But the moment you see the case study, you will know that no agency can claim that they have done the work, the client has done the work. So, but before I talk about the case study, I want to talk about my learning. My biggest learning of late is that it's not the output, but the outcome that matters. When we joined advertising, it was all about the output. People talked about how good the film was, how good the print ad was, how good the hoarding was. Increasingly, I'm seeing in the digital world, that doesn't matter. Increasingly, what matters would be the outcome. That what happened? Why did you do it? And the moment I say that, and if I show you the case, I think this is the best digital campaign I've seen in the last many years, I must say. Okay, on one hand, they had many campaigns. It was audaciously large. I mean, look at only Karnataka. 5,000 WhatsApp groups, 100 trained volunteers, 25,000 IT cell members, 8.5 million registered members. This is only Karnataka. So you can see the size of that game. And of course, there was, Prime Minister Modi, who understands media and he's a fantastically charming personality. So whether it's a selfie with Bollywood or how do you eat mangoes with, Akshay Kumar, it just works, And it's a copybook great campaign, responsive, topical, video, vernacular, ubiquitous, transient, very important. Digital campaign needs to be transient, that before one finishes, another one comes in. But I still feel that my biggest learning is here, that what had been the big success of this campaign? Is it, let's see, Mavi Chowkidar. It was a great piece of thinking, very well-timed, well-responded. But it is the greatest campaign that you will ever talk about? I don't think so. It's a very competent campaign. Similarly, a cohort-based campaign like my first vote for Modi. Great cohort-based campaign, but is it the best example of a digital campaign or a best example of an ad? Not really. Or any of them, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, or, Kaam Kare Jo Umeed Usi Se Ho. All of them are very competent, good campaign, but this is not what you will write home about. What you will write home about is 303 and 353. This is exactly what we will talk about. And many of you had gone out and either liminally or subliminally got influenced and voted for BJP. That's where the success lies. So it's not the output, but the outcome where the success is. With due apologies to my friends from Facebook. I mean, there's no Cambridge Analytica here, so I don't know exactly what went on. So I don't know what kind of influences had happened. But I would say that this is my biggest learning, that for a digital campaign, if we are outcome focused, we are far better off. The second campaign I want to talk about, again, my learning first. I think time has come for digital communication to get out of this trap called let's do something cool. Let's do something cool has been the death of digital advertising. So internet is moving from 3M to 3V because this is Google and BCG, not me, so you better believe it. They say it's moving from 3M, which is mail, metro, millennial, to 3Vs, video, vernacular, and voice. So if that is the case, I remember when advertising got out of the hands of South Bombay, the South Bombay brethren, the clutch of South Bombay brethren, there was a language change which happened. So what is the equivalent of that granularity and texture in digital if it's actually going mainstream? If it's no longer about some cool people doing some cool stuff for millennials? No. So what is that? And this case study I found to be very, very interesting. Case studies are usually a little cheesy, so go by the content of it because I think the thinking is brilliant.
you get a country influenced by native languages when pronouncing and spelling common words in English, which are often wrong. This leads to people writing English as they speak. For Racold, the Indian water heater brand, we realized that the word geyser is synonymous with the category of water heaters as a whole. But that's not what they typed when they were searching for geysers. Instead, they searched for
Geyser.
Geyser.
Yup, a whole set of 1.3 million searches made up of misspellings were being ignored. And while our competitors were busy outbidding each other on brand, category, and even our keywords, we chose to bid on those that were left out, the mispronounced, the spelling errors, even the weird. In the first 3 months of executing the campaign, we hit over 3.5 million high-intent searches with 526 misspelled keywords and delivered a 200% increase over planned sales, with a 16 times return on investment against an industry benchmark of 6 times, all by spending only 1/10 of the closest competitor. By not minding our keywords, we reached out to those who didn't mind their language. These keywords will now stay changed within the meta tags for all our listings, ensuring higher organic ratings in the future.
Beautiful, isn't it? Now it's time to kind of look inward, so I will talk about a case study that we had done. I don't pay too much of attention to this picture. Apparently, anytime an agency or a media company presents case study after they leave, this is what happens to the client boardroom. So I always remember this picture in my head. The campaign I want to talk about, first my learning, is in the world of text and wrong spelling, nobody reads. I used to write columns, so whenever there was a picture of mine, people used to call me up and say, fantastic article. When there was no picture, nobody called me up. So which means nobody reads. So the thing is, it is a world of visual extravaganza. It is, especially post-internet, post-digital, it has become a world of visual extravaganza. And my biggest learning is to multiply that power in India especially, one may need maybe just more than the internet, maybe a little more than just the internet to expand the power of visual. So here is the case study.
How do you get the average Hyderabadi who had never heard about IKEA to get excited about a furniture store opening 20 kilometers away from the city? Looks tough, right? Truth is that, unlike iPhones, furniture and home utility items did not have fans. We realized that the biggest barrier was what people thought a furniture store could be. And that's exactly what we needed to challenge. Our approach was to raise their expectations about what a furniture store could be. An IKEA store was not about furniture made by IKEA, but urban life inspired by IKEA, not through a product, but through an experience. We did not ask Hyderabadis to come to our store. We simply invited them to take an auto ride. Reimagined in an IKEA way. Using IKEA design and VR technology, we converted the streets of Hyderabad into a drive-through IKEA catalogue. This real-time immersive ride told people in Hyderabad what IKEA could be. We extended this invitation to others by launching a first-of-its-kind app on Google Play Store. All of this was an immersive experiential invitation card. It was also a direct-to-consumer furniture catalogue and a window shopping tour for the customer even before the store opened. This created conversations and instant unprecedented buzz, multiplied over digital mediums and mobiles. And Hyderabad was ready to say, "Hey IKEA!"
I mean, it won gold Effies and across. So Okay, here pretty much I'm done with my 3 caselets and 3 sets of learning, but I'll give you one bonus learning, one quick bonus learning, which is like in life, like in everything, even in digital, the truth lies in the middle. So on one end, you get the guy who keeps on saying, what is the big idea? Digital is just a medium. Where is the idea? Beware of that person. He has never seen an algorithm in his life. So you have to be completely beware of that guy. On the other end, there's this guy who says, for the last time, I'm not a copywriter. I'm a fucking brand storyteller. Beware of that person also. The truth is that you need to use the power of technology and use your creativity to give a brand solution. Nothing more than that. Thank you very much. My name is Partha Sinha, and in Twitter also I'm Partha Sinha. Thanks.